Welcome to all of our board members and to all of our honored guests. You're all here tonight because you're an important part of our chapter leadership and community. So thank you for being here, but most importantly, thank you for all that you do for the CF Foundation and all of your shared efforts to celebrate the milestones that we have made possible throughout the years and through all of your tireless efforts. As a CF parent myself, I am a big believer in milestones. I have literally savored each and every one that I've been lucky enough to experience with my 22-year-old son who has CF and my 2 daughters who do not. And after a year in which there are no adequate words to describe, I'm extremely proud to say that the CF community has still managed to find ways to celebrate all that we have accomplished together and individually. So in keeping with that philosophy, we'd like to start a meeting tonight in recognition of all that we've accomplished in 2020 with this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tina. Happy birthday to you.
Love's gonna come my way. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but love's gonna come my way. Good job! Run! Oh, it's gonna come my way.
That was my first year of grad school.
Oh, it's gonna come my way. I don't know what I'm waiting for, but love's gonna come my way. I don't know what I'm
That's a
waiting
whole
for, but love's
mile.
gonna come my way.
Hey, you're not copying.
Oh, come my way. Oh, it's gonna come my way. I see the moon with the sunlight. I see the lights of the sea.
The final number was 80 for an FEV. I am blown away.
That is 24% increase. Good job.
My goal was 50%. You beat your goal. Love's gonna come my way. Come my way. Oh, love's gonna come my way.
Oh my God. William Shannon Jr. Nice. Oh, that was great. Hi, my name is Grace D'Amico. I'm 18 years old and I just committed to my dream college.
You want to take a run with me?
Hi, I'm Taylor, and this is my husband Damien, and we're celebrating our 2-year wedding anniversary by going on a hike.
So last time I had you at 73%, okay? Today I have you 94%.
I'm presently illustrating commissions, and I'm also working on my first children's book that's due to be out later this year.
Love's gonna come my way.
Happy birthday.
So there are many words to describe this past year, but tonight we focus on not just words, but actions. Things like all the amazing things that we just witnessed, birthdays, graduations, pregnancies, grad school, college acceptances, FEV increases, afternoon basketball games, toddler t-ball sessions, rock climbing sessions, life goals, lots of exercising, and my personal favorite, just simply jumping for joy. No one knows more than the CF community how truly special and precious each and every one of those milestones that we just saw meant to those people that were brave and proud enough to share them with us through that video. And no one knows more than us the personal qualities that went into each and every one of those clips. There was love, hope, courage, endurance, strength, compassion, vision, and a never-ending and never-tiring desire to live life to its fullest. It has been a resounding ability to make each and every tomorrow better than all the yesterdays combined. So yes, 2020 was an incredibly difficult and challenging year, but it was also the same year that we saw TRICAPTA make its way into the hands of CF adults across the country. And it's the same year that we saw the entire world adapt and adjust to a life that we know all too well, a world of masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, physical distancing, infection control, and more. So it's tonight that these last two words, and more, that we really want to focus on. So tonight we're doing more than just gathering virtually to acknowledge all of our CF community. Tonight we get the opportunity to celebrate our individual accomplishments, especially those who have found a way to do more this year despite, and in many cases, especially because of COVID-19. So tonight it's my great honor to start out our recognitions with leaders of our community that will one day undoubtedly make the greatest impact, our youth, and to give out 5 awards to our young adults who are actively making a difference in the world. So with that, I would like to congratulate James and John Babbitt. Both young men attended the CF Foundation's annual Teen Advocacy Day this year. This was John's second time attending the event, and James's first. More than just brothers, these two young men are inseparable in almost every way, so it's fitting that James and John were able to advocate together. John advocated for his brother and best friend, and James had the incredible privilege of advocating for himself. So next slide. Lola Ferguson also attended our Teen Advocacy Day along with James Babbitt. She was one of the many CF teens that could actually attend this year because of the fact that this event for the very first time was offered online. She virtually traveled to Washington, D.C. She didn't get the chance to see all the sights of that amazing city, but she lent her very powerful voice to all of our elected officials here in San Diego and across the state of California on behalf of herself and her older brother, Ashton. So next slide. Carter Jones also attended Teen Advocacy Day. He joins the growing group of young teens who've had the distinct privilege of advocating for their parents with CF. As more and more CF adults begin to lead full lives complete with careers and families of their own, this growing legacy of advocating for CF parents is indeed something for all of us to celebrate. After watching Carter's very professional PowerPoint presentation, it's clear that the future of his mom, Lauren Jones, is in very capable hands. And last but not least, and our youngest award recipient tonight, Ellis Casada, is able to apply both her incredible creativity and her obvious leadership skills this past spring by leading a virtual art class to young members of our community. When the entire world shut down, she found a way to step up and offer ways to connect with other members of her chapter, as well as bringing beauty and joy to individual households across San Diego through her amazing art lessons that she offered. We have seen Ellis' dancing skills in last year's Chef Throwdown, and now we get to benefit from all of her artistic talents as well. Despite living with CF, she has shown that her future is indeed very bright. So all 5 of these Youth in Action recipients exemplify what is best in a community. Individually and collectively, they display our resilience, our compassion, and tireless pursuit to defy the obstacles that life sometimes puts before us. Those of us in the CF community are no strangers to challenges, and perhaps it's for this reason that we seem not to only adapt, but also find ample ways to support each other in the process. In March 2020, our entire world shut down. Even the CF Foundation took a brief pause from one of our founding missions of fundraising for a cure. But in its place, we found a way to focus our energy on the 2 other goals, care and community. Locally and nationally, the CF Foundation used all of its resources to make sure that our community retained its incredible connection to all of its members. Ellis Casada is a small but mighty example of that ability. Not only does she help us find ways to strengthen our community bonds and relationship, she also allowed us to personalize them in a very fun and engaging way. So thank you, Ellis. She, along with the other 4 young leaders, demonstrate the silver linings that emerge from COVID. And perhaps in previous years, only 1 or 2 of our teens were able to represent our chapters in Washington, D.C. This year, because of the virtual platform, we had 4. So that was twice the amount as the year before. We also had, for the very first time, not just 1, but 2 teens with CF advocating for themselves. Infection control policies didn't permit them to participate in the past, but this year our elected officials got to hear their very powerful voices loud and clear. So thank you, James, John, Lola, and Carter. We're all very proud and grateful for all of you have done for us. Thank you.
Katrina, do you want me to introduce Dr. Akong?
Yes.
So one of our wonderful awards, Next Award Star Award, is being presented by Dr. Catherine Akong of the Rady Children's Care Center, along with Stacy Mount. So I will let you guys take it away.
Hi, everybody. Congratulations to our leaders. Nice to see some familiar faces there. All right, so I'm going to read my introduction for our Star Award recipient. Her name is Isabella. I'm going to read most of it in English and a little part in Spanish at the very end. So forgive me for my Spanish. So let me tell you about Isabella. We are so excited to nominate Isabella for the Star Award this year. We know that the last year has been very challenging for so many of our CF patients, with a global pandemic, fear of what that meant for CF patients, pivoting to distance learning, social and physical distancing from family and friends. But clearly, Isabella stood out to our team as a shining star this year. She has been through more than most when it comes to being a CF fighter over the past few years. Multiple hospital admissions, prolonged IV therapy, monthly in-person clinic visits. That's 12 visits in the last year. And she drives 2 hours each way to come and see us. The thing that stands out for me is Isabella's positivity and grace. She's always smiling, even when things are not going the way she wanted. When she heard news that she didn't want to hear, she found a way to see the silver lining, to find that little sliver of good, and to find a small reason to be grateful and smile. Even if she was smiling through some tears, it was always there. She has truly been an inspiration for me personally and for our entire team. She is the definition of grit and grace. So I want to thank Isabella and her family for showing us how to live with faith and courage, and for sharing your light with us. Keep smiling, Isabella, and congratulations on your well-deserved Star Award. Okay, así quiero agradecer a Isabella y su familia por mostrarnos cómo vivir con fe y valentía, y por compartir tu luz con nosotros. Sigue sonriendo, Isabella, y felicitaciones por tu merecido premio, una estrella.
Does Isabella want to say anything? I think she had told us in advance that she doesn't, but I'll give her one last chance.
Thank you for all my doctors to be with me on the good and bad times that I have passed. And well, Dr. Akan, it's a very good doctor.
Y a todo el equipo, muchas gracias. Siempre fueron un gran apoyo.
Thank you.
Thank you, Isabella.
Her mom said thank you to the whole team for always being a wonderful support, for those of you that didn't understand.
Thank you, Dr. Akong. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Doug Hanrad and Jessica Goggins, who are going to be presenting the Matt Joyce Courage Award.
Let me unmute. Hi there. Hi, my name is Doug Conrad, and I'm the Adult CF Center Director at UC San Diego. Been there since 1996. And let me just say, it's just so wonderful to see everybody, some old friends on this call and a lot of new ones. So it's so good to see everybody. I'm not sure where to begin to talk about Eric. I think one way of doing this, I can say that I knew both Matt and obviously Eric, and I can say confidently that if they knew each other, they would have been best friends. They share so much in terms of the kind of lives they live, what they valued, and their general approach to life. So it's so fitting that we are able to award this award to Eric. I met Eric about 7 years ago. I think it was around 2014. He was a referral from a pulmonary physician, Dr. Colleen in Temecula. And I was just looking on my notes from that first visit, and I actually wrote down, I said, oh, this guy's an adult diagnosis. He's going to be very low maintenance. He's going to be easy to take care of. And I have to tell you, he proved me wrong. It's been a crazy ride for Eric since then. He's had to deal with so much, including a lot of very nasty infections, changes in his job, disability. He ended up getting a transplant in 2020 and so much more. I think it's incredible and almost unimaginable the amount of stress that he went through all during this last 7 years. However, all during this period of time, you couldn't help but being so impressed with how he faced each challenge. Not only was he concerned about the consequence of each of these things that happened to him, he was very concerned about how all this may affect the people around him, including Amber, his girlfriend, and his parents. He was very concerned about all the people around him, including the people in the clinic that were taking care of him. I said for each challenge, he faced it by getting more information, asking questions, and deciding. He approached things very rationally and did his best to make the best decision for him. I think one of the things that was so impressive during all these events were his tremendous optimism and enthusiasm for life. It was evident all the time, regardless of what was being thrown at him. It's important also to remember, and I think this is one of the things that is so striking about Eric, is how much appreciation and gratitude he had for everybody around him, his friends like Amber, his parents, and each of us at the UCSD care team. So it continues to be so amazing. His attitude, his enthusiasm, so amazing. It's like just classic Eric. So in so many ways, he approached his life with courage, and it's amazing how he mustered all this. I don't know the word. I guess courage is the good way to face all these challenges. How it affected his life. They were so much like all the challenges that Matt had to face, and I was aware of a lot of what Matt went through because I was involved with his care in the last few years of his life. So I can't think of a better honoree for the Matt Joyce Award. And I just wanted to say on behalf of myself and each of the care members at the UCS team to congratulations. And we feel so privileged to know you and to be involved in your life. Congratulations, Eric.
Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome. He's a man of few words too.
I don't know. I wrote a little something down. Do I talk right now?
You're talking.
All right. I do appreciate it, Doc. It means a lot. You have definitely been with me since the start of my journey, and we've definitely had a lot of ups and downs throughout that period, but everything you've done for me and Amber and my family, it's been really meaningful. And I know we've had some really hard appointments, but you making little jokes here and there and keeping our appointments light always helped put a nice little edge on those appointments so they weren't so serious and with all the stuff that I faced. But I thank you and the entire CF team and Tina Fisher as well. I've talked to her a number of times. She spent a lot of hours with me as well, over the phone and in person. So it does mean a lot. And the whole transplant clinic, I obviously wouldn't be here without any of you guys. What else did I write? I'm already going off script. Yeah, just thank you, Doc, for making such a big impact on my quality of care and feeling like you were always in my corner. It helped immensely throughout the transplant process, throughout pre-transplant, fighting the abscesses prior to transplant and everything. So, and let's see. Sorry, I'm way off script. This is not anywhere near what I wrote. A little bit, but not a lot. I just hope that I can make those that have come before me, people like Matt Joyce, who I've read a lot about, and I've actually spoken with his father briefly. I hope I can make people like him and people like my buddy Griffin, who just passed away this past December from complications with CF. I just hope I can make them proud in the life I live going forward in this post-transplant life. And there's so many of us that fight day in and day out. And I just hope I can have an impact like some of the others that have come before me have had on a lot of the CF community. So thank you to the Joyce family as well. I feel like it's an honor to be getting an award in your son's name, in his name. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you everybody at the CF Foundation. I appreciate it a lot.
So tonight is my distinct honor to recognize the Remington family. They're not here tonight, but they are the recipients of our Passion Fundraising Award. It's going to the entire WAM CF team. When Alex and Hazel Remington were small, the Remington family passionately and tirelessly raised money for Great Strides through an extensive grassroots fundraising campaign. Fun fact, they actually named their team WAM CF after all 4 members of their family, Wendy, Hazel, Alexander, and Michael, so hence WAM. So that alone shows their commitment to their family and their passion for each other. Many years ago, I remember Wendy telling me that she was especially proud of the fact that she didn't have any one large donor to her team, but literally hundreds of small ones that all made a huge impact. So her efforts do prove that many small deeds do make big differences in this world. Their family has proven that time and time again over the years. And as her children have gone older, the Remington family have morphed their Great Strides team efforts into a golf tournament that has grown in popularity, size, and impact over the year. I don't know if any of you have seen those on our social media shout outs, that the pictures of like a whole team in orange over on a bridge, that's the entire WAM CF golf tournaments. As an example of the resilience and flexibility which have been the hallmarks of 2020, the Remington family reverted back to their letter writing campaign this year to offer a more appropriate and social distance opportunity to raise money for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And for their efforts and in their inaugural year, again, as a letter writing campaign, they raised $10,000. So for this and all that they do to add passion and connectivity to our community, we'd like to thank the Remington family and the entire WAM CF team. So thank you very much. And now I'm going to pass it over to Jake Boas, who is going to present our Rookie of the Year award.
You're on mute, Jake.
How's that? All right. Sorry, everybody. Well, you actually missed me messing up in the beginning, so that actually worked out to the best. So this year's Rookie of the Year is Christiana Wolf. Unfortunately, she's traveling, so she won't be, she's not on the call. But this year, she organized Anson's Wolf Pack for Great Strides in honor of her brother, Anson, who lost his battle with CF at 21 years old in 1994. But this year, the group, in their first year, raised an amazing $5,545, which is unbelievable, especially given that we're in the middle of a pandemic. So we wanted to thank her so much for her fundraising efforts and congratulate her on the Rookie of the Year. And I'll pass it off now to Spencer Cohn to announce the award for tomorrow's leaders.
Thanks, Jake. We could not be more proud to present this year's Tomorrow's Leader Award to Bridget McGarry. Bridget is absolutely the glue that keeps our Tomorrow's Leader group together and the spokeswoman we've longed for. I mean every word when I say that Bridget is my hero. I'm so grateful to have gotten to know her over the years. Excuses are not part of her vocabulary, which makes her such an inspiration to us all. Her relentless search for a cure and her smile along the way, as you can see right there, is contagious and makes me a far better person because of it. Bridget is always willing to volunteer her time despite so much of her day being stolen away with hospital visits or CF treatments. There's no better example of her strong character than all the videos she's willing to broadcast and tears she's able to elicit in hopes of further raising CF awareness. Bridget's ability to reach out and welcome new members makes us all a little jealous. Where I get uncomfortable in front of a camera, Bridget thankfully is able to shine and show our CF fight in the best light possible. Bridget, I speak for all of our board, Shannon, and the rest of our Tomorrow's Leader community. I want to thank you for your phenomenal work thus far. You are truly a role model to us all, and we can't wait to see how much more you will accomplish for the CF community going forward. Thank you for everything. Also, for the record, Bridget completed her first 2.5 mile run last week, which is about 2.5 miles farther than Shannon and I can run. So thank you for continue to make us look bad, Bridget. We love you.
Thank you, Spencer. Thank you, Shannon, and thank you, everyone. Spencer is right. I did run 2.5 miles yesterday or on Friday, and I'm hoping to run 3 miles tomorrow. But you know, the reason that I'm able to do all these things is because of the CF Foundation, and I'm so excited to be a part of the foundation in a role that is not just as patient. I'm actually coming up on my first year out of the hospital. I've been out for a full year, coming up on February 24th. So it's all been so amazing, and I'm just so thankful, and thank you so much for giving me this award.
And with that, I'll pass it on to Barbara to present the Gifts for a Cure Award.
I don't know how to. Good evening, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to present Fred and Chris on behalf of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, the Gifts for a Cure Award for 2020. The Phillips family began their journey with cystic fibrosis when their son Peter was diagnosed. Peter is going to be 45 years old this year, and he and his wife Shauna have a son, Wayland. 2020 was a year like no other due to the COVID pandemic. Despite the many financial challenges our country has faced, Chris and Fred were able to raise more than $25,000 towards finding a cure for CF. Thank you both for your hard work and dedication, and for your love and respect for everything CF. We all love you. Thanks very much.
I don't know, do they hear me?
We heard you, Barbara. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
I can't tell with this thing. I'm so, but I'd
That
love.
was wonderful.
Can I introduce?
Please
do. John Wetherall. John Wetherall is going to be giving the Out of the Gate Arcturus Therapeutics an award. He is a partner with Pillsbury, Winthrop, Shaw, and Pittman, and a wonderful benefactor. And I'm just crazy about this man. He steps up and helps every time he can. So thank you for all you do for us, John.
Well, thank you so much for the introduction. I think I'm just a narrator here, though. I'm not the hero of what's being done. I had the pleasure of announcing the Out of the Gate Award to Arcturus Therapeutics. And I guess it's been 2, maybe 3 years ago, when I found out that Joe Payne, the CEO, the head of the company, Arcturus, was doing research or looking to start research in the CFTR area, of having them come to our board meeting, and thought that, well, it might be interesting for board members to learn a little bit about the science. And as a scientist gone bad myself, I found it, quite interesting, the approach that's being done. And without getting too geeky on the details and everything, and the Arcturus Therapeutic, and I'll ask Joe to chime in and correct me if I'm messing it up, but it will involve the ability to deliver genetic material, messenger RNA, to the lungs of CF patients so that they can make a fully functional CFTR receptor and replacement, or rather allow expression regardless of the genotype of the CFR patient. So it will be totally agnostic, and you won't have to worry about, gee, do I have this mutation or that mutation? So it should be a universal therapeutic, and just so exciting that we have this being done by a company right here in San Diego. So I wanted to definitely extend a warm, great expression of gratitude from all of us to Joe and to Arcturus, and for staying in there and working on this system. It means a lot. And Arcturus also received a grant award from the foundation to continue this research. So it's very exciting. And I don't know if Joe is on the line.
Yeah.
Would you like to say something, Joe?
Oh, I'd love to. John, thank you. Thank you to the San Diego chapter of the CF Foundation, the board. We really appreciate it. I've got some good news to share. One of the byproducts of COVID is that it allowed the messenger RNA field to showcase its amazing ability. Moderna and Pfizer now have these vaccines that everybody knows. 2 years ago, no one knew what messenger RNA was, and now everybody does because of these vaccines. Why is this important? Is Arcturus was able to raise $488 million this year to help fund research. We have 3 franchises in our company. We've got our COVID-19 vaccine, but we also have our liver franchise and our lung franchise, which is led by our CF product. So that's good news number 1. Not only did we get $15 million from the CF Foundation, which is very much appreciated, but this technology is gaining a lot of momentum, and that's good news for CF. The other good news, and a more specific thing I wanted to share, is that this year we collected fantastic data in primates and in ferrets. Why this is important is ferrets have the most human-like lungs, and we lit up those lungs like a Christmas tree with just proof of concept that the inhaled messenger RNA therapeutics has enormous exciting potential to help CF. So that's very, very good news that we're sharing, that we've been able to show delivery to ferret lungs and also to primate lungs, the ability to have messenger RNA therapeutics work in those bronchial epithelial cells, those ciliated bronchial epithelial cells. And this is going to be a very exciting next phase of messenger RNA therapeutics, not only in the COVID-19 vaccine space, but following that is the ability to inhale these therapeutics and make a massive difference. Again, we're in the business of making normal CFTR. Every single CF patient, every single one wants the same thing. They want a normal transporter in their lungs. And the only way to do that is to get a messenger RNA molecule into these cells and build it. So very excited to share those news with you that we've been able to raise money and we've been able to collect some exciting data. And we announced our development candidate just a few weeks ago, which means that we're now preparing this year to transition this therapeutic into human beings. So we're excited to provide you that update on the financial side, on the data side, and the milestone side. And look forward to this annual update to the San Diego chapter. They've been supportive from the very beginning, before anybody who knew anything about messenger RNA or Arcturus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just congratulations to all the award winners tonight. I was holding back the tears every year. You guys put together these great videos that pull on your heartstrings. Really motivates the heck out of us to get a therapeutic out there for CF as soon as possible. So thank you to all.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Joe.
Well, I'm going to be taking it from here, and I'm not so sure I introduced myself to our guest tonight, but I'm Jamie Weisberg, and I'm the Executive Director for the San Diego Chapter of the CF Foundation. Along with me, I have three of our staff members on the Zoom call: Stacia Ybarra, who's Senior Development Director, Michelle Gilmore, who's Senior Development Director, and Jen Kalker, who's also a Development Director. Kelly Runyon, who is our administrative manager, isn't able to join us. She is out on maternity leave after having she had a baby girl in December. So our next award is the Until It's Done Award, and this is presented to organizations and businesses that have supported the San Diego chapter for at least 5 consecutive years at the $5,000 level or more. We are so grateful for these corporate champions as they provide a steady foundation for the San Diego chapter to grow and to serve the CF community. So for 2020, we have 4 organizations that meet this criteria, the first of which being the Charlie Hoffman Foundation. And they have been supporting the CF Foundation since 2014. Through Charlie and Stacy Hoffman's personal giving, as well as their fundraising efforts, they have contributed $535,000 towards our mission, $500,000. Charlie is on the PGA Tour right now and can't be here this evening. Did Megan Mahoney join us? I'm not sure. Their executive director, but we want to extend our gratitude to Charlie, Stacy, and Megan for their support and partnership. So I don't think we've got a Megan. All right. Our next award is presented to Scott Elam and Elam's Hallmark. 9 years ago, Scott created the Hearts for CF campaign in honor of Justin Moen. Justin has CF, and he is the son of Scott's friends, son of friends of Scott. In the weeks leading up to Valentine's Day, Elam's Hallmark employees sell heart-shaped pinups to their customers at their 9 stores throughout San Diego. And since 2012, Elam's Hallmark has raised more than $120,000 for Team Justin and Great Strides. Scott, thank you so much for all that you do for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. And would you like any comments that you'd like to make?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you very much for the honor. We feel very proud to partner with Cystic Fibrosis and be part of your fundraising. I'm still close with Justin, and to see the changes in his life have been life-changing for Justin. Gives me chills when I talk to him and see the changes that the latest medication is done for him. And I feel that through the fundraising efforts that we've done, and that's all part to my entire staff who actually really raise awareness for cystic fibrosis throughout San Diego when they are getting the donations in the stores. And to go into the stores and see how many hearts are hanging really it's a nice, beautiful thing to see, especially by the time we get to Valentine's Day and there's hearts all over the stores. So it's, we just kicked off our 10th annual Hearts for CF campaign, and it's going good and strong, and we're proud to be partners with you. So thank you for the award.
Thank you, Scott. Our next award is for McKinsey & Company and San Diego board member Jeff Bird. Jeff is a partner at McKinsey and has enlisted their support in honor of his daughter Claire for great strides, our former Breath of Life Gala, and now Grand Chef Throwdown. Claire is going to be 12 years old this year, which makes her old enough to take Trikafta. And it's through McKinsey's support that people with CF have the opportunity to lead long, fulfilling lives. Thank you so much for your support, longtime support, Jeff. And if you'd like to have a few comments, go right at it.
Thanks, Jamie. Really appreciate it. I'm just really excited that I'm able to bring my firm's contributions and commitment to this cause, and obviously super helpful for not only Claire, but the entire CF family. So very honored. Thank you very much. And looking forward to improving and expanding the relationship over the coming years.
Thanks, Jeff. And our fourth Until It's Done award is presented to Vertex Pharmaceuticals. Not only is Vertex a national corporate champion for the foundation, but they team up with us locally in San Diego in so many ways, whether it's sponsorship for Surf for CF, CF Cycle for Life, and Chef Throwdown, or it's their team fundraising, or providing really cool science and action kids activities at Great Strides. Vertex is all in for the CF community. We are proud to call Vertex neighbors and friends. Fred Van Gore is with us tonight to accept the award, and he'd like to make a few comments.
I just want to thank you so much for all that you do, and it's been our pleasure to, walk with you for all these years. I know that speaking for everybody at Vertex. I also like just to, mention we lost a close colleague of ours this year, and in lieu of flowers, people made donations to the local CF chapter, and I know he would have been very, very happy with that, and as he dedicated the last 20 years to helping bring these medicines forward. So in honor of Jennings Worley, I'd like to thank everybody, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much, Fred. We've all been thinking about Jennings and his family. And now for our final award of the evening, I'd like to introduce Jimmy Poole, who's going to present the Volunteer of the Year Award.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I am honored to present this year's the next award for Volunteer of the Year to Sonia Marikovics. Right on, a round of applause. Yay, Sonia. Hey, honestly, Sonia, I couldn't imagine a better person for this award. You are simply the best. You brought the Surf for CF event to life. From volunteer recruitment to fundraising to being an MC extraordinaire, you nail it. It's so easy for many of us who have loved ones with CF to show up and commit every year. But honestly, Sonia, it's the people like you who show up out of the graciousness of your heart and continually give so that my kid and the other folks with CF thrive. And that really makes a difference. We love you, Sonia. And I hope that my son turns out to be as good as a person as you. So thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. That was amazing. I don't think you have a bigger picture of my head though. It takes up the whole screen. I'm so honored to get this award, and it's really, I mean, it's been so amazing working with you and Stacia and everybody else on the Surf for CF committee these last 5 years. I can't believe it's been 5 years already. It's such a great event. And if anybody else on the call hasn't come down in the past years, you know, when we're back on the beach again, we would love for you to come down. It's such a fun day. And it's just been such an honor and a pleasure to be a part of it. And this year was a little weird. I did way too many push-ups, and I think I hit like 2,000 for the surf and turf challenge. That was not as much fun as emceeing a day at the beach. So definitely looking forward to getting back out into the world again and seeing everybody in person. But thank you.
Well, I want to say thank you to everyone for all that they do and contribute to our CF community. To our award winners, you are so deserving of this recognition. And we are so grateful for all that you do and the time that you give. And you are an inspiration to us all. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. And hopefully we'll be able to see each other in person again later this year, but we hope to see you on video in the meantime. So thank you so much.